In today's video, I'm uncovering a trio of interesting tidbits surrounding the taxi work. And I know what you're thinking, why in the HE double toothpicks would anyone want to do taxi cab work? Well, 3 reasons. Number 1, the focus is the Doomsday Heist this week, and I simply loathe this heist. No worries though, I still plan on doing my part in the 20 trillion challenge by grinding some Kayo this week. Number 2, the second reason I'm doing some cab work this week is that other than the Doomsday, it's the only other decent double money this week. And finally, number 3, I uncovered a new bug in the taxi work you may want to be on the lookout for, as well as Rockstar introducing a little sexism into the taxi work. Stay tuned for that. Alright, so as the title suggested, I thought I'd put in some good old-fashioned taxi work today, but also wanting to challenge myself in the process. For example, what if you perform taxi work for 1 full hour as quick as you can, but without crashing? Certainly an impossible task, right? Well, perhaps, but today that's exactly what I'm going to try to do. 1 hour of cabbie work on the mean streets of Los Santos without crashing. Now, there are some rules for this in order for it to be fair and still be challenging. The first is you can't be dawdling around. Driving slow would be an easy recipe for success, but doing cab work for 1 full hour while driving slow? Yeah, we're not even going to joke about that. I will say, though, that you don't need to be going flat out all the time. Braking and going slow where needed is definitely on the table. The second thing here is we need to define what exactly is a crash. Well, it's everything. This means no running into pedestrians, fire hydrants, light poles, etc. And yes, obviously other vehicles as well. It's basically this. For 1 full hour, the only thing your taxi should be touching is the ground beneath its tires. So, yeah, pretty strict. I mean, it's got to be a true challenge, right? Now, there is a caveat to this, and you'll see what I mean here while you're watching the video. There are taxi fares you'll need to drop off or pick up where they are behind a closed gate. And we've all seen this where there's closed gates, but they're not locked. The only problem here, and this is on Rockstar, is that you have to physically push open the gates to get your vehicle through. Pretty easy and straightforward, but doing this ends up scratching your vehicle and, in my case, results in these crappy brown scuff marks on both sides of my car. Unfortunately, I had 2 fares that had me driving through these gates, which sucked because I was really aiming for a completely clean-looking taxi at the end, and having to drive through these gates, well, that kinda ruined things. Alright, the last thing I want to touch on here is that I'm not in this to make the most amount of money possible. My end goal here is to simply survive 1 hour of doing taxi cab work without crashing. However, this week, if you've not already heard, Rockstar's offering double bubble on the taxi cab work. And keep in mind though, this is only double money, not the usual pairing of double RP. Also, keep in mind that the payout for taxi work has increased. This past summer, Rockstar bumped the payouts for this work, and if you haven't played in a while, the change is relatively decent. It's not going to break the bank, but if you enjoy taking a break with some cabbie work, the payouts are better. If you're looking for more information, I'll drop a link to my most recent video that outlines the payouts in more detail. Okay, there's a few monkeys in the room here that I need to touch on. If you've done any amount of taxi cab work in GTA, I'm willing to bet that the most frustrating item on the top of your list, other than the payouts, is the annoying habit of NPCs not shutting the cab door when they leave. Now, normally this is a lower level frustration that, outside of the aesthetics, is easy to ignore and get over. But when your goal here is not crashing, this presents a whole other dimension of jumping out of the nearest window. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, Rockstar can create a video game with outstanding beauty and open world bliss, but they can't ensure one easy act of getting an NPC to shut a freaking door. And here's something new. I'm not sure if you're picking this up in the video, but there appears to be a brand new, weird laughable little twist to this whole open door scenario. I'm curious if this is happening to other players, so comment below, but during the 1 hour taxi grinder, I noticed something interesting. I'm not sure if this is intentional or not, but for some reason, all of my male customers shut the door, and all the female customers did not. Yeah, I don't know. Is this just Rockstar doing Rockstar things? If it is, I need to tip my hat. This is exactly the kind of subtle intricacies of this game that I've grown to enjoy. I mean, this can't just be a coincidence, can it? I actually went back after I recorded this video and I went through each and every fare I made, and yeah, for some reason, every single male character shut the door and every single female character left it open. Like I said, I'm curious. Let me know if you're experiencing the same thing. Now, this may just be a car-specific nuance here. This is the first time I'm using my Broadway for taxi work, and you'll notice that for the Broadway, there's no rear doors, so the passenger always has to jump in the front seat. I'm not sure if this is contributing, but yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. Okay, the last piece of this weird little journey is the apparent glitch or bug that I encountered, and it's directly related to the door opening saga mentioned above. During one of my fares, as you're seeing here, I needed to pick someone up, but in my travels to pick them up, my door would simply not shut. So when I pulled up, the NPC proceeds to walk towards my cab and get stuck on my open door. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up, folks. Pretty frustrating. And you can't do anything if this happens to get out of it, because as soon as you stop to pick someone up, you lose all controls until they get in. So, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this is a one-off and it's not going to happen again, but just beware. Because of this, I had to cancel my taxi work and start all over. This sucks because your payout is based on the number of fares, so starting over is literally starting over. Just crazy. Alright, so in the end, yes, I was able to perform one excruciatingly painful and nail-biting journey without crashing. As you can see here, my cab is fully intact. No dents, missing body panels, or busted out lights. The only blemish, as I mentioned earlier, are the brown scuff marks on both sides of my cab because of those damn push-to-open gates. All in all, I ended up completing 19 fares for around $137,000, but this was not an accurate payout picture due to the glitch I mentioned earlier and having to quit and then restart. In the end, definitely a challenge. I think if Rockstar wants to get creative with their payouts of the taxi work, this is something I wish they would incorporate. Instead of normal payouts and tips for the fares, they should base some of the payouts for how little damage you inflict on your cab. Like, say if you go an hour without crashing, there should be a sizable bonus. And judging how difficult this is, it would definitely not be easy money. Alright, so that's it, my friends. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like this video and want to help out, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you think. I'd really like to know if anyone else is experiencing Rockstar's apparent sexist approach to shutting cab doors. Otherwise, anyone else up for this challenge? Think you can go the distance without incurring any damage to your cab? If so, drop a comment below and let everyone know. Until next time, be happy, be well, be safe, be on TV. The one